For Arsenal Football Club puts them, I think, it was 7 or 8 points behind the league leaders. Not the kind of start after match day 10 that they would have been expecting.
Yeah, and like I said on was it Panorama, that after 10 games, that's the shape of the table. We are looking at the table like how you expect it. Though some things will change, of course. Nottingham Forest being third, no one expected it, and it will take a lot for them to stay third because they've moved above Arsenal. But look, it's a tough situation for Arsenal. I still believe they have what it takes to win the league. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are very pessimistic. They feel that, oh, we are 7 points behind.
7 points is not a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's not a lot. And knowing that you have the chance to play them again.
Yeah.
You know, Liverpool and City will have to play each other. There's all sorts of things that are going to happen. I mean, it's just too much, especially knowing that Arsenal can go on a run where they can win 17 out of 19 games. If you know you can go on a run like that, if you know you are capable, I wouldn't be worried. I believe that, let's say this was maybe 25 games into the season, I could understand their frustration, but for me, it's still a bit too early. But Arsenal fans, they are naturally pessimistic. There's been a lot of disappointments in the past, so I understand them.
In this game, I noticed two things. Newcastle looked to have done their homework on Arsenal's dead ball situation. So Gabriel and Saliba had literally no joy on the dead balls, and Arsenal had one shot. In fact, when you go, you and I like XG. When you go to the XG on target, it was 0.00.
Yeah,
as far as on target
they
was
really
concerned.
didn't test the keeper, and that was part of the problem because some of the chances, there was, I believe, a Declan Rice chance towards the end. I don't know if it was shown on the highlights where it's like he got a header that maybe if he had put on target, it might have done something. There were quite a few moments like that you feel like if the ball had been on target, maybe they would have got some joy, but they definitely didn't create enough. And they made it a bit easy for Newcastle because Isak for the goal, very free, very unmarked. Maybe if Gabriel's a bit close. I'm not going to say it's a mistake. To say it's a mistake is a bit far. These things happen. But when you get a striker unmarked like that,
but he was free, and he was right in between their two centre halves.
One of them should have picked him. That's why I don't want to give a mistake to one of them because either of them could have done the job. So to put the blame on one, for me, I don't like to go into the blame game thing. But you get Isak free like that, that's a failing of the defensive structure. But they're generally good defensively, so it's not a big worry. But Odegaard will come back. That's a key thing. They are playing a different system. All those things. Saka has had his look. He put, like I said, he put that cross for Declan Rice. He's always going to be dangerous, but sometimes your teammates need to help you a bit. It can't be Saka is the hero every time. You know, other people have to step up sometimes, and that's part of the problem. We're not seeing Martinelli stepping up.
Good.
Kai Havertz, we know the type of players. You need to feed him. Trossard, he comes and goes. Sometimes he gets you that goal.
Was really poor. I'm surprised he lasted almost the whole game.
You know the coach loves him because of that industry and work rate. And I get it. Coaches want players who put in that effort. They are not afraid to throw themselves about, give 100% for their team. And Kai Havertz does do that, so I understand. But it's a very disappointing result. But St. James Park is not an easy place to go to.
Talk about Newcastle real quick for me. They managed to get the results in a big game like this. They are not doing as well as they would want to. What should be their aspirations? I mean, gauging their performances in the first 10 matches of the season.
So they and Spurs have a similar problem in the sense that at home they are quite good, but away from home they struggle. So St. James Park has become a difficult place to come. I saw a stat that the last 6 teams from London who have come have all lost. So yeah, they've all, I mean, they get the wins at home. We've seen them play some tough, when Man City come there, we've seen them give Man City very good games at St. James Park. So they're not a bad team at all at home. It's just that on the road, they seem to not be able to get it right. But looking at the investments that we know the Saudis have put in, you expect them to be challenging for a European place. They were in the Champions League, was it two seasons ago? I can't quite remember. But they know they can finish fourth. They know that's their ceiling. They want to be there. What Aston Villa is doing now, actually, they were in the Champions League last season. They were where Aston Villa is now. Just that Aston Villa are taking advantage of the Champions League and winning games and are still challenging again. They need to get back up there. If Aston Villa can do it, Newcastle should believe they can do it.
Is it a personal thing? Do they have to add up? Do they have to probably tweak something tactically? How do they make up that extra step?
Maybe Ben, let me ask you a question in return. Do you think Aston Villa's players are that much better than Newcastle's players, player for player, if you just look at their squad? Because for me, the thing is, if you look at Aston Villa's squad and Aston Villa can be fourth, then you look at Newcastle's squad, then you ask yourself the question, is that squad that much better for the performances to be that much better?
I think that Villa are slightly better. I feel like when Newcastle finished fourth, a lot of their I would say regular players overperform their baseline abilities.
Exactly.
And so there's that.
But you say they are slightly better. So if they are slightly better and Villa can finish top 4, top 6, why can't you be in that same conversation? That's just how I see it, because just player quality. So I would say the difference is Emery is a much better coach than Eddie Howe. No disrespect to Eddie Howe. So Eddie Howe has to be the one to make those changes, be smart about. And I feel like he's handled this season pretty well. I mean, he's moved Dan Ben back into the center because Botman is injured. You can see Livramento and Hall are now growing into the team. 2 young players. Trippier is kind of being phased out. Tonali has come back. Then you know the wide players. They have Gordon, Isak, Almiron, Jacob Murphy. Exactly. There's interesting players. Joe Linton is there. Bruno Guimaraes. And honestly, if you're not in Europe, looking at that squad, you should be winning a lot of your games in the Premier League. So I believe they have that. And I mean, this is a good result they can kick on. We watched the Chelsea game last week where you were thinking to yourself, with a few better decisions. No, I'm talking about even the league. With a few decisions, they could have got a point there. We talk about the Isak kind of way he rounded the keeper and stuff. So they're not a bad side at all. Just that sometimes things need to go your way.
Things really need to go your way. And for Arsenal fans out there who are watching, I want to ask a question. Does this team have a genuine goal scoring problem? Because I feel like in the games where Bukayo Saka is not either creating or scoring, the team has genuine scoring problems. And you mentioned Martinelli not firing, Gabriel Jesus not firing. In fact, in yesterday's game, I was looking at them, I'm like, where is a goal going to come from this team? Because Havertz is not scoring as well. So I genuinely want to know.
Havertz generally he scores at home. At home, a lot of their home games he gets a goal. It's very regular at home, but away from home, he's not really been.
Are you worried about Arsenal's goal scoring?
No.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at their numbers, they are one of the highest scoring teams in the league. So they don't have a goal scoring problem. But it looks that way because there's not a player in your head that, okay, this guy will get me 20 league goals. So it looks like a goal scoring problem. They share their goals. The set pieces help. Because you know Gabriel will get 3, Moreno is there. So and even Declan Rice got like 7 goals last season. Players are chipping in here and there. Odegaard also scores a fair amount. Odegaard usually gets about in the last 2 seasons. No, in the last 2 seasons, he's averaged about 20 goals and assists per season in the last 2 years. So not having that type of player for a big part of the season will be a worry.
Well, they say Odegaard is supposed to be coming back after the international break. I believe the one that has Ghana playing on the 18th. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's move